Admiral Kethvar watched the tactical display with grim satisfaction as another rebellion fleet disintegrated under the Empire's relentless assault. After 18 months of war, the Galactic Liberation Front was finally collapsing. Their ramshackle alliance of freedom fighters had proven no match for the Empire's disciplined legions and superior technology. "Sector 7 is secure, Admiral," reported his tactical officer, a cybernetically enhanced Raxian whose implants glowed with incoming data. "The rebellion's last major stronghold has fallen. Estimated time to complete victory, 72 hours. Kethvar nodded, his scaled features showing the satisfaction of a predator closing in on wounded prey. The Empire had been methodical in its campaign, isolating rebellion systems, cutting supply lines, and systematically destroying their ability to coordinate resistance. Now, with their forces scattered and demoralized, the so-called freedom fighters were retreating to their final refuge in the Kepler sector. "What of the human contingent?" Kethvar asked, though he expected the usual report. "Still ineffective, sir. Their ships continue to employ primitive tactics and outdated technology. Intelligence estimates they've lost 60% of their fleet strength. They're no longer a significant factor in the conflict." Kethvar allowed himself a moment of contempt. When the humans had joined the rebellion, Imperial Command had briefly worried about their reputation for unpredictability. But 18 months of warfare had proven them to be exactly what their technology suggested: a minor species struggling with equipment generations behind Imperial standards. "Admiral," the communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving priority transmissions from all fleet elements. Something's happening in the Kepler sector." The main screen activated, showing feeds from the Empire's advanced scouts. What Kethvar saw made him lean forward with sudden interest. A single ship had appeared at the edge of the sector, clearly human design, but unlike any vessel in their databases. "Analysis?" he demanded. "Unknown configuration, sir. Hull length approximately 800 meters, but the mass readings are inconsistent. It appears to be both there and not there simultaneously." Kethvar frowned. "Clarify that statement." "Sir, our sensors are detecting a solid vessel with standard mass and energy signatures. But quantum scanners show the ship existing in multiple probability states. It's as if the vessel is occupying several realities at once." Before Kethvar could respond, reports began flooding in from across the battlefront. The mysterious human ship was moving through the combat zone, but its behavior defied every principle of naval warfare. Instead of engaging Imperial vessels directly, it seemed to be editing the battle. "Admiral," the tactical officer called out in alarm, "something's happening to Battle Group Theta. They're reporting system failures across multiple ships simultaneously." The holographic display showed Battle Group Theta's formation beginning to break apart. Not from enemy fire, their ships were simply shutting down, one after another, as if some invisible force was switching them off. "Impossible," Kethvar breathed. "What kind of weapon can disable an entire battle group without firing a shot?" "Sir," the sensor operator's voice carried a note of disbelief, "the human ship isn't using weapons. It's rewriting our ship's operating systems. Somehow, it's accessing our vessel's core programming and introducing changes that cause cascading failures." Kethvar stared at the tactical display as more Imperial formations began experiencing mysterious malfunctions. Ships that had been functioning perfectly moments before suddenly found their weapons offline, their shields fluctuating, their navigation systems providing contradictory information. "How is this possible?" "Our systems are hardened against electronic warfare." "Unknown, sir. But the effect appears to be selective. The ship is targeting specific systems while leaving others functional. It's not trying to destroy our vessels, it's trying to disable them." A new alarm sounded as the communications officer announced, "Admiral, We're receiving a transmission from the human vessel. Audio only. Put it through. A calm human voice filled the bridge. Imperial forces, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Probability. I'm ordering the immediate cessation of hostilities and withdrawal from this sector. Kethvar's crest flared with indignation. This is Admiral Kethvar of the Imperial Dreadnought Absolute Authority. You are in no position to make demands, human. Surrender immediately or be destroyed. Admiral Captain Chen replied with what sounded like genuine regret. I understand your confusion. You're thinking in terms of conventional warfare ships, weapons, tactics. The probability doesn't operate under those limitations. Explain yourself. The ship you're facing is humanity's first successful quantum reality manipulator. We don't fight battles, Admiral, we edit them. We select which version of reality we prefer and make it the dominant timeline. Kethvar felt a chill run down his spine. You're claiming to manipulate reality itself? Not claiming, Admiral. Demonstrating. The tactical display suddenly changed. Where moments before it had shown the steady advance of Imperial forces, it now revealed a completely different scenario. Rebellion fleets that had been scattered and demoralized were suddenly coordinated and reinforced. Imperial ships that had been reporting victory were now showing critical damage. Supply lines that had been secure were under assault from forces that seemed to have appeared from nowhere. What are you doing? Kethvar demanded. I'm showing you the timeline where the rebellion developed quantum manipulation technology 6 months ago, Chen explained calmly. In this reality, your invasion failed before it began. Your ships are damaged, your supply lines are cut, and your forces are in full retreat. Impossible. You can't simply change the past. I'm not changing the past, Admiral. I'm selecting which of many possible pasts becomes the dominant reality. The probability exists in a state of quantum superposition. We experience all possible timelines simultaneously and choose which one to make real. Kethvar watched in horror as his fleet began to conform to the new reality. Ships that had been pristine moments before now showed battle damage. Officers began reporting supply shortages that hadn't existed seconds earlier. Communications from Imperial Command carried increasingly desperate orders to retreat from positions they had never actually lost. You see, Admiral, Chen continued, in this timeline, humanity never joined the rebellion as a minor partner. We've been the dominant force all along, and this war has been going very differently. The implications struck Kethvar like a physical blow. If humans could manipulate reality itself, then every assumption about the war was meaningless. Victory and defeat became arbitrary concepts when the enemy could simply edit the battle to their preferred outcome. What do you want? He asked quietly. The same thing we've always wanted: freedom for all species under Imperial rule. The difference is that now we have the power to guarantee it. As the Absolute Authority began receiving retreat orders from an Imperial command that suddenly found itself fighting a losing war it had been winning moments before, Kethvar realized that the galaxy had just entered a new era, an era where the rules of warfare meant nothing when faced with enemies who could rewrite reality itself. The Empire had never seen it coming because they had never imagined that some battles could be won by changing the definition of victory itself.